baby, real talk.
Hi friends, got a fun story for you today. How to quit crystal meth. If you listen to my last podcast, I told you why to do crystal meth. So you might be thinking, why would you want to quit crystal meth? Well, I don't know, man. But life gets pretty bad. Crystal meth's fucking addictive, bro. Like, ever thought about trying to quit how to breathe? It's kind of like that. So I was in Bali. It was COVID, no flights, no money. I was living in the ghetto, and all my friends were gang members and crack whores. And like, have you ever heard this expression like, drug addicts just taking drugs just to feel normal? That's wrong. There's no more normal. There's no more normal anymore. It's hard either way. When you take your drugs, you still get. You still feel you feel good for a bit. You still feel okay for a bit, but you just want to change. You just want to change something. You still like you started taking drugs because you wanted to change, and it got better for a bit. But now, it gets better. It's like it still gets better for a bit, but the good gets bad and the bad gets really bad, man. So I was living in the ghetto, and because of drugs, like, I had no friends. Like, none of my friends wanted to talk to me. I was in Bali anyway, but none of my friends from Australia would talk to me. That's not true. One did. Like, he deserves a special mention, and that guy saved my life. I don't want to talk about him right now because just in case he doesn't want to talk to me, but I have one friend left in Australia. No, actually, like 3 friends left in Australia that literally saved my life, sending me money when I was a drug addict, and no one else would. So I want to give them a special mention. I'm not going to say their names right now in case they don't want me to, because God bless those 3 friends of mine. If you watch this, then you know who you are. But anyway, apart from those 3 legends, no one else wants to talk to you because you're a drug addict. You ever met a drug addict, or called someone a crackhead, or made fun of someone for being a drug addict? Then no, not judging you, but then you know what I'm talking about. I was that drug addict guy that you didn't want to be friends with, and that hurts, man. So when I had no money, no one wants to give you money. Till I tell you what, no one wanted to give you money. Even when you trapped in a third world country and you don't have any money and you can't eat or pay your rent. Fuck, that sucks, man. And you know that, like, if I quit drugs, maybe it'll get easier. That's not even true, because you're taking the drugs, like, I know some people are homeless. They say, I gotta take drugs, man. And like, don't you think that sounds crazy? That like that's not true. The experience is like, you gotta take drugs, man, just to get through the experience of that. Anyway, so it's like, I know this wasn't the first time I tried to quit drugs. It's like, I got to change something, man. I'm gonna die. This is in Bali. I'm gonna die here during COVID. When I get a funeral, my body will end up in some, drainage channel. They'll never find it. Either that, or I'll have to run off to the jungle to get lost. I did overstay my visa. God bless one of these heroes I was talking about. Sent me money when no one else would to pay my visa. I was like messaging friends saying, like, I owe the Indonesian government $1,000 now for my visa. They're going to put me in jail. Can you help me? No, Ryan, you're a drug addict. But one person did help me. So I didn't end up going back to jail. But this is a story of how to quit meth, guys. So I had no money, but I thought, like, I just got to quit drugs. So I'm living in this crack house, right? It's more of a crack apartment. All my neighbours, Timorese gang members, and Sumatran crack whores. So I thought, first thing, I got to get out of here, man. You might hear this, like, or if you're someone who's been a drug addict before, like, the hardest thing about drugs is, like, about quitting drugs is, like, you're hanging out with other people that use drugs or basically a bad influence on you. And it's so hard to get out while you're living in that environment. So I knew I got to escape that. So I moved to a different place. It still wasn't very easy because basically in that area of Bali I'm staying in, like, it's the ghetto. It's a local area of Bali. But I tell you what, it's the locals, crack whores, and drunks and gang members that fill it up. So I'm still around people like that, but I'm basically away from my friends in the streets that I've been living in for the last 2 years. So I moved into another shitty apartment. But it's hard, man. Like, it's a slog. Every second of it is a slog. When you've been smoking crack every day, you've been high on drugs literally almost every second for like the last 3 or 4 years. Every second is a painful experience. And I got so lonely, man. So I thought, wow, I'll get myself a crack whore girlfriend. If you want to see my fine print on why it's okay for me to say crack whore, go back a couple of episodes. They're literally crack whores, man. So I thought, fuck, I'll make this crack whore neighbor of mine, she can come and be my girlfriend. And this will make it easier for me to quit drugs. Not the dumbest idea, because I tell you, like, it's fucking hard. Maybe they got me through a few moments. But anyway, she would not stop telling me, one, that she want to get back on the crack. And I had to keep saying no. And I never gave up. I said no. By the way, hey, you guys know there's a hit song out now that is really hard for me to hear from, who's that guy with the red hair? Ed Sheeran. It's called Azizam. So my crackle girlfriend, her name was Aziza. So whenever I hear that song now, it makes me think of her. Hey Ryan, let's go beli shabu. That's Indonesian for buy crystal meth. Beli shabu. We gotta beli shabu. Ryan, fuck no. We quit. Look at me. I'm doing the right thing now. I'm quitting drugs. She would not quit, man. That chick was dumb as fuck. She's from this tiny, but she basically was from the jungle. That made it hard. And you know what else made it hard? Her always trying to fuck my friends. Like, this chick had no morals. Growing up in the jungle with her mum was a prostitute. She had no fucking idea. I think she never seen like Little Mermaid or like Sleeping Beauty or any of those movies where it's like, you know, and you want your boyfriend to be Prince Charming, like handsome and honorable and like loyal and have integrity and stuff like that. And then isn't that the man of your dreams? And you like this beautiful princess. God, I'd be in bed with her. She'd be like this. Well, Aziza, what are you doing? Oh, I just texting to Bill, Bob, Steve. Tell them, oh, come over. Fuck me. Fuck me. But that was serious. I could joke about it now, but that seriously, that hurt me in the heart to have to deal with that. What I put up with it, I don't know, because I'm trying to quit, save my own life. Um, so, so I'll tell you, instead of getting rid of that girlfriend, I'll tell you, here was my idea. So, all attached basically to my main mission, which is to get Ryan Leon off of drugs. Okay, so I got to get off drugs. I got to keep this girlfriend, because otherwise I'm not gonna have. She would my sexy teddy bear to cuddle, on those lonely nights where I'm like, quitting drugs is like trying to quit breathing air. So it's like I need support. This is my support crack whore. So I was like, yeah, Aziza, babe, you need something to keep you busy, so you're not texting all my friends trying to get them to come around and fuck you. So, what can I do? It's COVID. I'm in a third world country. I gotta keep this jungle crack whore bitch busy. I know. I'm gonna start a business, and that business gonna be selling rice. That's right. I'm gonna sell rice to Indonesian people during COVID. Now, I am not a moron. Like, I've been smoking crack for 4 years. No matter what anyone tells you, there's not for a second that I actually was dumb enough to think that might be actually a good idea. My main objective was to keep this chick busy. Now, I'm a little bit of a secret genius. I did think, hey, maybe I'm so smart that I could sell rice to poor Asian people and make some money. So I thought, fuck, here we go. If I can get off crack, I can do this. So, this, by the way, that was around that time. Lucky for me, some people won't remember this, but the Australian government said, hey, you guys can have $10,000 of your own super money. Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. People here probably thinking like, okay, I can buy myself a big screen TV. Me in Australia, I was thinking, right, fuck, yeah, I can eat today, and then I can pay my rent, right? And then I can rent out a shop, and I'm going to start my rice selling business. Now, I know when I say rent a shop, I know what you people from rich countries like Australia are thinking. Oh, yeah, rented I've seen a shop you can rent in town. Go back a sec and think now, a filthy concrete box in the ghetto. I use the word ghetto because is best way for me to describe this situation to you. Like the poor ass. I really want to stop swearing on this podcast because it doesn't sound great. Poor ass. What do you say? You're not going to say poor ass F word. Poor ass. Very poor. The very poor area, okay, you rent a filthy little concrete box. For $1,000, you can rent one. It just seems so cheap. For a year, you rent this concrete box in, I'm not going to swear, in a very poor area that you can set your business up in. And then guess who I hired? I hired those Timorese gang members, the ones that were my neighbors previously, because it's like, now I got to now I'm not living in the same apartment building with you guys. They're still my friends, right? As much as they also annoyed me and were dangerous, they're still my friends, and I felt like, honestly, part of it was me wanting to play a little savior. Okay, part of it was that too. Part of me thought it'd be a cool story. Okay, so I thought I hired these guys. So I hired these guys to paint my concrete box in the ghetto for the business. I hired some of them, painted a sign to say, rice for sale, go to this address and take it through town. Paid them $10 for the day. There's like $100 over there. So I'm doing it, hiring the crack whores to work in there and sell the rice. But I needed the rice too. So if only I wish I had AI at that time. Probably would have told me not to do any of this stuff. But AI is so great. You know, you get on AI. It's like if I want to, try and make a profit selling rice. By the way, didn't have AI, but I did have Google. Google at that time did tell me that it was a bad idea. They said, I found this out when I first had the idea. So like trying to find out about the rice industry in poor countries. And basically there is like 2 cents profit margin selling a rice in your own neighborhood. Basically no one brings rice from different areas of the different parts, even within Bali. It's all local. There's almost no profit margin. As you can imagine, everyone involved in the production of it is poor as, no swear words, very poor. And there's no money in it. But like I tell you, I thought, fuck that. Even if it's only like $1, like if it's $3 a day, I can make enough to survive, and I can keep this crack whore for some reason, not a swear word, I think. Keep this crack whore busy enough not to fuck all my friends. So I got myself a machine that take the husk off the rice. But before that, I bought myself a concrete bowl. You know, you ever learn in primary school? You do a little project on foreign countries and stuff like that, and you see a picture of a little old lady in Asia. She's put the rice in the concrete bowl, and she's got a stick, and she's she's pounding it. If you haven't seen that, basically I learned how by hand to take the husk off of rice. Before that, I did all these research missions around the island with my crack-whore girlfriend, Aziza, going around to different farms around Bali, seeing how much looking at the rice farms and all the machines and seeing how much stuff costs, and then getting the giant mortar and pestle, basically learning how to take the husk off rice. I thought, I'll never sell enough rice like this. It'd be a good little trick for tourists. I put one out the front to like be cool, so that white tourists walking past would go like, oh, there's that thing I learned about in primary school, the little tunk 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 thing, how you take the husk off rice. Let's go in there and buy some rice. Anyway, so did that, bought a little, realized that was too slow, bought myself a machine, set that up in the little concrete box, had that going, taken the husk off rice. I still couldn't make enough rice to know that I would make enough money and keep this crack hall busy. So, and I'd already been around the island looking at all the rice farms and all the prize, and I thought, this still isn't working out. My girlfriend is still in bed at night next to me. She's texting Tim and Steve and Roger saying, guys, come around, fuck me. You can fuck me for free. I got to do something. So I hired this pickup truck. At this time, I'm staying in Kuta. Like, if people know Bali, Kuta is like kind of no swear words, Ryan. It's like, it's the main tourist area. It's not cool. It's very uncool now with cool people, because like Canggu is cooked now, but there's other areas that like the cool areas that people go to. Kuta's the original tourist area. It's now very much like a Bogan Central, and for old, ugly, fat men to go and sleep with cheap young Asian hookers. That's Kuta. So I'm in the ghetto of that area. So I hire pickup truck from there. And I got this plan. I'm going to drive from Kuta. I'm going to drive right across the island to the west side, to the west point. Then when I get there, I'm going to go by boat to Java. Then when I get to Java, I'm going to explore Java. I'm going to find some very cheap rice, and I'm going to bring it back to to Bali and to make some money. Already a very dumb idea. The price in Java is the same price. But you know what we'll do? I'll keep this fucking crack whore busy. None of my friends are in Java, okay? So I did that. Hired this pickup truck. Before I went, I put on, I bought some army clothes. One of my favorite shows growing up was the A-Team. Now, and when I was driving that pickup truck across Bali, poor Bali in the jungles, dressed like B.A. Baracus. Fuck, that's a good memory, you guys. That is actually legit. That's a good memory. If only if I didn't have that chick next to me on her phone telling you she's gonna fuck Roger and Robert and basically everyone. Like, you could not stop this getting her out of that town of Kuta did not stop her from wanting to fuck everyone or to still keep telling me about it. But I put on those army clothes. It's not actually a dumb thing. Like in Indonesia and other Southeast Asian countries like that, people, most of them poor and not that well educated, but they got a big respect for the army, because the army basically the biggest gang. People have very poor education. If you get a job in the army, it's almost like being a doctor. And they got all the power. People brag over if they got any kind of relative in the army, they will brag. Why does that then why should I dress up like I'm in the army? Because I went to Bali's pretty safe, but there's some areas that are dangerous. Java is dangerous as fuck, especially if you're a white foreigner. But you dress like you're in the army. People there, like I said, this is not racist. This is a comment about the socioeconomic status. But poor people, they're dumb as fuck. They're lucky if they got a second-rate education, but they respect the shit out of the army. And if they see a white guy dressed like he's in the army, they will think twice about kidnapping you. They will think that maybe this guy is in a real army from Australia or America. They would have no fucking idea, and they might not kidnap you. Okay, so it's actually a pretty sensible thing to do, as well as feeling like I'm B.A. Baracus in the A-Team. If you don't know who the A-Team is, Google it. So I'm driving across Java. Now, I'm not a crackhead anymore, but in the moment, I'm having so much. I'm chain smoking across Bali. I'm driving like a crackhead. You know what? I think, you know, if you ever go to an poor Asian country and you get scared because of the way people drive, when you got a crackhead girlfriend, I'm still not tired of saying this any yet. When you got a crack or girlfriend next to you, want to fuck with your friends, you're chain smoking, clove cigarettes, you dress like B.A. Baracus, you have some, and you're playing, you know, gangster rap on the radio, you may as well have some fun. I was zap, like after 5 minutes, even didn't take me, I didn't even need to warm up. I'm zigzagging, zapping through traffic. I'm overtaking like double trailered, semi-trailers. Whew. That was fun, man, and dangerous as fuck. So I'm zooming across Bali, and then we get to the port on that side. So most of these Southeast Asian countries like this, you know, they're from island to island. They have this like ferry station port that you can drive your vehicle on, and then you go over to the next island. It's COVID too. So, like, I'm having to do COVID tests, and I get stopped by the army. Now, getting stopped by the army is almost as dangerous as getting stopped by a gang. The army, for real, is the biggest gang, and they do not give a fuck about you or anything. They will look for any reason, basically, to hold you hostage. The police are the same if they want to. So, you're lucky if they just, you know, do their job, treat you with a little bit of respect, which is what I got at that time crossing the border. Anyway, so we get our truck on the ferry. We go across and then we're in Java. And I tell you what, when you get into Java, you can like, how can I put it? You feel like the devil lives there, and you feel like there's some. You really can feel it in the air. I think part of it might have been some of the real true stories that I'd heard before that time. I have a friend, I can't mention any names, but I have an Australian friend. He just happened to be a drug dealer too, and when he was in Indonesia, so if his son got kidnapped actually by a Javanese gang, taken over to Java, held hostage, and until they were able to release him. So stuff like that really happens in Java. And you can feel it in the air, man. It's a dark place. A lot of beautiful people there too. But it's a wild country, and the devil has room to play over there. So in addition to Aziza, I'm on edge the whole time. But I'm on this mission to save me. So we're driving into the island. We explore. Exploring the different rice places, and eventually I find this place. It's right. Okay, this is the cheapest rice we've found so far, and it was a little bit cheaper than Bali. But I already calculated. By the way, I'm going to buy 1 ton. By the time I get it back, I've made no money because I've hired this truck, paid for the petrol, paid for the cigarettes I've smoked. I'm going to make no money, but I've kept us busy for a few days. So I find this rice. And by the way, this mission was one of the most, I've done some dangerous things, but this is one of the most dangerous things I've done in my life. And mainly because of this reason. I'm about to spend the last $1,000 I have in the world. And more importantly, $1,000 that I have access to while on this island. So if anything happens to me, my last dollar and I can't get back across the border, that's it. I'm finished. I will die there. So I spend my last $1,000 on this rice, a pickup truck full of rice, get it all loaded on, back across the ferry. Now I'm zip-zapping down the side of the highway. My driving got crazier, man. And I've now got a ton of this Javanese rice on the back. Zip, zapping through. Anyway, so I finally make it back alive. Boy, that was a fun trip. And then I've got to sell this rice. I already know, I'm going to make nothing. My girlfriend is starting to get into it now. She's kind of I feel like she starts to see my vision. It's I think I've kept her away from whoring for so long. She starts to see maybe there's another way of making a living. And I start to make a few cents. I start to make even a couple of dollars then a day. But I'm in that same ghetto where I'd started. And I'm not able to stop my old drug dealer from hanging around. My old drug dealer's a Balinese. And he's in love with Aziza too. Right? In fact, they were together for a little bit. I took her from him. I'm lucky the guy just didn't just kill me, because he is straight up, one, he's a killer, and two, in the pocket with the cops. He had already before had locals and foreigners put into jail by setting them up. He comes round to my place. I'm like, dude, I'm not gonna say his name just in case I ever go back to Bali. dude, I just come around for a chat. I'm like, fuck, I'm just being polite. I don't want to hang out with the guy. I don't want to be friends with him. I'm not going there to buy drugs from him anymore. But sometimes I'm too nice. But while he's at my place, he gets a moment to get Aziza aside. Now, this is no nice guy, right? He is straight up a snake. I know he's like, he's like, I know afterwards from what happened, what he would have been done is saying, hey, let's go Bali Shabu. Hey, Aziza, you got to come with me. Not Billy, but I give you a Shabu. Come on, let's go. Because he just wanted to get her away from me. Fuck. What else he probably was saying is like, oh, because Indonesian chicks get jealous so easy. It's like, oh, Ryan's been fucking these chicks and these chicks. Anyway, because one minute I come home, one minute I go out, next minute I come home, and I find my girlfriend Aziza, big shocked look on her face as I come home because she's standing in the doorway. She's holding my safe with bits of broken timber and bricks and plaster of the wall where she's ripped this, no swear words, safe. She's ripped my safe. Literally, she's ripped it out of the wall, bolted to the wall for exactly this reason. Didn't stop her from just ripping the thing, no swear, ripping the thing out. Caught her red-handed, so I said to her, had all of my money left in it, my passport, credit card and everything. I said, babe, I think it's over. So I split up with her. And that was really hard. And I tried to stay strong and just think about work. But that broke me. And I Bali Shabu too. And then I bought drugs again because I couldn't deal with the heartbreak of her leaving me. She left me. But if only she just left me alone, maybe I would have been okay. But she left me and then texted and called. Say, Ryan, your drug dealer, and I fucking Tim and Roger and Robert and Tony and everyone in the street. And if there's anyone else in the street, I fucking them too. Text me, she called. Then she fuck them and said, hey, Ryan, I fucking Tim and Robert and doing them both. And now here's Roger too. I fucking all of them. This is not a joke, by the way. She literally did it. That was fucking hard to deal with, man. I believe Shabu. So then I did drugs again. But the drugs didn't make the heartbreak easy. Let me tell you something about when you do meth. It makes feelings stronger. Like it makes, in a way, it's hard to explain because, you feel the pain and you buy the drugs, but then you feel the pain stronger, but in this kind of bittersweet way that makes you do crazy things, like hunt down your ex-girlfriend till you find the room that she'd been fucking Tim and Roger and Robert and the whole street in, and she there with her gay pimp, and then you beat him up, steal his smokes, kick him out, and then she's there. This for real, bro. Like, I found her in that fucking filthy apartment. She's pointing and laughing to where all these, there was Tim and Robert and Roger have all spunked on the wall. She's telling me how she sucked them all off. And that really hurt, you guys. And yeah, I just couldn't deal with her. I think I couldn't deal with the shame of like my ex-girlfriend who was like, I was supposed to be saving myself, and I felt like, this is not a good thing. You don't want to save a chick. But I felt because everyone knew us. Everyone in that, we were, don't you think like the white crack whore in COVID stood out like fuck in that neighborhood? I was a celebrity, but not in a good way. I was the famous white crackhead of Kuta. And everyone knew me and knew her, and it was very shameful. And everyone knows when your crack whore girlfriend has gone out and she fucking after the neighborhood because they fucked her, they know. God, I promised myself I wouldn't swear. I'm sorry, you guys. So I'm like, I can't deal with this. So I said, Aziza, I gotta take you back to Bunker Belitung. First, I need a map because I gotta know where the fuck Bunker Belitung is. Where the fuck is this? Bunker Belitung, by the way, is a tiny island of Sumatra. You don't know where it is because no one ever goes there. So, like, I'm gonna take you there, baby, back to your mum, who I think who I was pretty sure was a prostitute. Because I gotta save you, but basically I gotta get out of this town that we're in. This is too much of a shame for me. So I took her back to if getting a rice from Java wasn't the most dangerous thing, then this was. Bunker Belitung, by the way, a very Muslim place. If you ever heard stories about, basically the further west you go in Indonesia, the more nothing wrong with being Muslim. I shouldn't even say that, but basically they beat and stone people for holding hands in the street. Anyway, so we flew to Jakarta again on my last dollar again. Now, if this trip goes pear-shaped, I am either stuck in Jakarta or this like Muslim island, jungle island, where they're gonna beat and stone me for having a girlfriend, and I can't get back. So I go to Jakarta, and we stay in this freakishly weird hotel over there. And then Aziza's auntie's texting me. She said, "Hey Ryan, when you get to Bunker Belitung, we're gonna be waiting there for you with the police, where you're gonna be arrested and go to jail because you're not married to Aziza. You're going to jail for having a girlfriend." So I'm sorry to say that scared me a lot. And I piked out of going away. I piked out of Jakarta. But I did it, I swear to God, I did it last minute. I bought 2 tickets from Jakarta to Bunker Belitung. At the last moment, I piked out. I thought I could go through with it. But that fear of going to jail in this island I'd never heard of, I said, Aziza, go ahead onto the plane without me. I'll join you. By the way, this chick did love me. By the way, as crazy as that might sound, I don't want to get her off the hook for being a bitch. But it for real hurt her when I didn't get on the, like I texted her from the plane after her take off and said, I'm not coming because your auntie's scared the fuck out of me, man. So she went back. I cried. I cried for the 3 hours or whatever it was until she had landed in Bunker Belitung. Then her mum's texting me saying, "Hey Ryan, why you not get on the plane? Why?" And said, "Because your sister said she's gonna arrest me." "Hey Ryan, where are you?" Like, "Oh, Aziza's not here. What's wrong?" And mum's crying. I'm crying too. "Where's Aziza?" But then she finally turned up. And then that fucking whore said, "Why are you not sending any money with her?" I was like, what the fuck? I'd done all this for nothing. The mum's a fucking bigger whore than she is. Oh my God, I'm a dumb asshole. And I wasn't laughing. I was crying very much. And then luckily I used the last of my money to actually get back to Bali. And then back on drugs. Whew. You know what? This has been a wild 40 minutes. I got more of this. This story is not finished there, you guys, but I'm going to wrap it up for today. I hope you had a good time. Hey, this meant to be a beautiful Greek tragedy, by the way. So I hope you enjoy it. See you next time. That was real talk.